Welcome into Seahawks Today. I'm your host, Will Ortner, and we have a jam-packed show for you. NFL insider Jordan Schultz has some O-line rumors when it comes to who the Seahawks could be targeting when it comes to a potential trade. Then we're going to talk about the PFF trade target that I haven't seen anywhere but PFF, and then they started going down reasons why that trade could happen, and I'll tell you what, sports pants got a little bit tight. I was real excited. I wanted that player out in Seattle. I still think that the Seahawks have a shot at getting him. And then, of course, ESPN, they're drumming up even more rumors for Riq Woolen. Will he get traded? I'll give you my opinion, and I'll go through the article there for you as well. But before we get into any of the action on today's show, I need you to go and follow me on social media, at Will Ortner. That's Twitter, at Will Ortner. That's Instagram. Guess what? It doesn't change. Neither do I. I'm constantly posting about the Seattle Seahawks, the latest breaking news, any of the rumors that I'm seeing, or just, frankly, any content that comes towards your Seattle Seahawks. Maybe some players are playing well that aren't getting enough love, and so I'll make sure to mention them. So go on over, at Will Ortner, and follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. Now, Jordan Schultz had this to say in a video that he put out on X. The Seattle Seahawks are on the market for maybe one more offensive lineman to help protect Sam Darnold. You think, Jordan? There's so many people in my comment section, shoot, myself included on my burners, saying, hey, Anthony Bradford sucks, and we need to move on from him. Now, that might be a little bit mean, but we've known that the Seahawks are probably going to be a team that is active at the trade deadline. They've done it before in the past. John Schneider not afraid to go make a move for a Leonard Williams, for an Ernest Jones IV. Why not? Why wouldn't he go and make a move for somebody else? If Jordan Schultz is in the know, something's going on. We're in up to something season. Why would every NFL insider, because now Jordan Schultz has reported, Adam Schefter has reported trade rumors, Diana Rossini has reported trade rumors, the Seahawks are looking for any help that they can get on that offensive line because it does feel like they are one piece away. Now, here's the question. Who could the Seahawks be targeting? Who in their right mind could the Seahawks think that could come in and make a big change for your Seattle Seahawks? Who do they think could be a nice trade piece for them? Well, we're going to go to my friend Hawk Blogger, and he had this to say. I think the only realistic move that the Seahawks could make that would be an upgrade at a weak position, like the Rams and 49ers have already done on back-to-back days, would be to go get a veteran guard. Well, here's the thing, Brian. Who are the veteran guards they could be going for? Well, he said Kevin Zeitler, Wyatt Teller, and Joel Bitonio. Those are all quality guards. Those are all guards that I agree. They would help the Seattle Seahawks. Now, you might be saying to yourself, Will, you don't usually pronounce names correctly with your Hawkinson accent, but you did pronounce those guys' names correctly, probably. And they do sound familiar. Now, why would they sound familiar? Well, that's because I made this graphic about a month ago. I made this exact graphic a month ago saying that this is who the Seattle Seahawks would be targeting if they made a trade for an offensive lineman. They have a weak spot at right guard right now. Anthony Bradford is graded out as one of the worst PFF guards in the National Football League. Not right guard, guards. Again, PFF, not the end-all be-all. But if you're in the bottom, you suck. And you probably shouldn't be starting. And I said you should make a trade with the Browns because they suck. And they got two good guards that would be an improvement for you. Or you should call the Titans because they have a guard that would be an improvement for you as well. That's why you subscribe to the channel. Everyone else is saying, hey, what if you called Cleveland? Hey, what if you called Tennessee? I was saying that a month ago. It's free. You don't have to buy the Athletic subscription. You don't have to buy ESPN Plus. It's free. I'll go in. I'll read the articles. I'll call my sources. I'll look at the experts. And then I'll give you who I think the Seahawks could be trading for. And then you'll find out a month later, if you don't subscribe to the channel, the same things that I was saying all the way back in September. That's why you subscribe. Accurate information about your Seattle Seahawks. Now, there is a new trade target. And this is coming to us from PFF, and I got really excited. I've been known to peruse the Brock and Salk show. And in there, Brock references a potential trade target for the Seahawks. So then I go back to the original article over at PFF, and it talks about a list of fairy tale trades that could happen in the NFL. And the Seahawks were on that list. And boy, oh boy, Seahawks fans are going to want to know about this potential trade because it had Peter Skoronski coming to the Seattle Seahawks. Left guard extraordinaire. One of the best young guards in the National Football League right now. Now, this is what Bradley Locker had to say about Skoronski and how he has played so far in his 3 years over in Tennessee. The third-year guard has played like one of the best at his position. This season, as evidenced by his 78.8 overall PFF grade. In fact, Skoronski has notched 76.0 plus grades in both pass and run blocking. Instant upgrade in Seattle. Skoronski would be your best guard. As well as Gray Zabel has played, he would instantly become your number one guard on the offensive line. You would probably move him to right, but you could potentially move Zabel over. Doesn't really matter. You are going to get better. And that's what's most important. You can move on from Anthony Bradford. Our long national nightmare could be over, and we'd have one of the best, if not the best, young guards in the National Football League. Bradley had this to say on how the offensive line is playing better, but why this would be such a vast improvement. Seattle's offensive line has improved this year, helping catalyze an offense that places 13th in success rate and 12th in scoring drive rate. Still, the Seahawks need more along their interior, as the team places 29th in overall PFF grades among guards and centers. There's 32 teams in the NFL. 29th sucks. First-round left guard Gray Zabel, he's played fine. Center Jalen Sundell and right guard Anthony Bradford are all below a 58.5 overall mark thus far. Yeah, man. The Seahawks have struggled. Now, to be fair, I would say that Gray Zabel shouldn't be included in the struggling statement. He has played well for you, and when he has his mistakes, when he has his losses, they are rookie mistakes. And they're not like, oh, he just got whooped. He's not turned around like this, looking at your quarterback get sacked on a play. He's not blocking Jalen Sundell on a screen pass. Those are things that I've seen Anthony Bradford do almost weekly at this point. So the question then is, how would Skoronski fit in Seattle? He's already a left guard. At this point, Gray Zabel, he's your rookie. He's at left guard. You can't play them both at left guard, and you're definitely not benching Gray. So what do? This is what Bradley had to say on that conundrum. Skoronski has exclusively played left guard in the NFL, which wouldn't necessarily fit cleanly in Seattle. Still, his ability to occupy all 5 offensive line slots was touted in his pre-draft evaluations, and Zabel also suited up at right guard during portions of his college days. Make it happen, John. Figure it out. I don't know how. I don't know what you give up. Figure it out. You'd have 2 of the best young guards in the National Football League. Road grading for your run game. Standing up strong and tall in pass pro. Figure it out. It's your clear weakness. It's something that Schneider, aside from Gray Zabel, and really that's about it, he hasn't been able to draft guards. Christian Haynes, looking at you, bud. Not doing too hot, man. 3rd-round pick hasn't done anything for you. So at this point, you have an area of weakness. John Schneider's a very good general manager. He struggles at finding guards. Let someone else find the guard for you and then go trade the pieces away. That's my personal opinion. But I want you to make the call. How much would you give up for Peter Skoronski? Giving up a first? Giving up a second? Giving up Riq Woolen and then maybe some other capital? Let me know down below in the comments how much you would give up for Skoronski. We're going to dive into that ESPN article on the latest Riq Woolen news, but before we do that, I do want to let you know about my good friends over at PrizePicks. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. The hard-hitting football action is even better with PrizePicks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on PrizePicks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. PrizePicks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on any 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if your picks are right, you could cash in. PrizePicks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. PrizePicks is the best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going off, which ones are overhyped. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on PrizePicks. I have a 2-pick power play for the action this weekend. Sam Darnold, more on his passing yards. George Pickens, more on his receiving yards as well. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Now, the last little piece that we need to talk about is ESPN's article that expanded more on the Seahawks' potential for trading cornerback Riq Woolen. Basically, ever since Ian Rappaport's piece about a month or so ago, a little bit over, everyone has been talking about Riq Woolen getting traded, and there really hasn't been an opportunity for that to happen. Now, Brady Henderson, the ESPN insider, did have this to say in the article on who could be a trade piece for the Seahawks. He says, Woolen, he is in the last year of his rookie contract and does not appear to be a part of the Seahawks' long-term plans. His 2 miscues late in their season opening loss to San Francisco continued a trend of mistakes in critical situations. And if not for Devon Witherspoon's knee injury in that game, Woolen's playing time since then would have been drastically reduced. Yeah, Brady, you're right. Brady's really smart. He does a great job covering the Seattle Seahawks. It's all true. But at this point, unless you get a haul, are you really going to trade Riq Woolen? Like, what's he going to come back? And at this point, the amount of injuries that you've had in that secondary, you can't logically think, hey, we'll trade Riq Woolen. An injury happens again. We're going to be fine. Throw out Nehemiah Pritchett. I'd rather have Riq Woolen than Pritchett. Riq Woolen at this point is a starter in the NFL. Now, he doesn't fit Mike McDonald's zone scheme system. But you have shown too many injuries in the secondary. Julian Love might go on IR. You need as many players that have started for a multitude of time to stay in that secondary. I understand that he's not a part of your long-term plans. And if he moves on, you're not going to get anything for him. But at this point, why? I'd rather have him. I think this team has a chance to go on a special run. I think I'd rather keep him, and I don't think that the Seahawks trade him. Could I be wrong? Yeah, it's happened before. Maybe I was called an idiot sandwich the other day, but I'm probably not wrong in this situation. I think that the Seahawks are going to hang on to him. And I think that Riq Woolen stays in Seattle because of the different injury issues that you've had in that secondary. I think that he hangs out with you because, frankly, you need him right now. You might not need him in the long-term future when you can go make a big free agent signing for a corner that plays better in the zone. But right now, he's all you got. And hopefully he's all that you need. Make sure to go follow me on social media at Will Ortner, X and Instagram. You do not want to miss out on any Seahawks breaking news, any coverage, or just, frankly, some people that aren't getting enough shine for your Seattle Seahawks. I'm making sure to shout them all out there. So make sure that you follow me on X and on Instagram at Will Ortner. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow.